Hello everyone, I am Ravindra Bagade, so lecturer in physics. So let us discuss about the chapter fiber optics, which is helpful to the BSc students, BSc pursuing students. So introduction. So optical fiber is a long, thin, transparent dielectric material which carries electromagnetic waves of visible and infrared frequencies from one end to the other end of the fiber by means of TIR. TIR means totally internal reflection. So optical fibers are used in modern communication technology to transport both audio and video signals from one end to another end. So it consists of core, cladding and protective jacket. So the picture depicts the structure of optical fiber. So it consists of core. Core is surrounded by cladding. So cladding is surrounded by buffer coating. So central core is having refractive index slightly more than cladding. So core and cladding are transparent materials, transparent dielectric materials. So buffer is opaque material, so which protects the core and cladding from mechanical damage from the surroundings. So here optical fiber consists of another picture depicting optical fiber. Okay. So the principle on which the optical fiber works is the total internal reflection. So that is when the light ray travels from a denser medium to rarer medium at certain angle of incidence. What happens? The light ray bends or reflected. Light ray gets reflected towards the denser medium or initial medium. So that is known as total internal reflection. Here the angle of incidence is more than certain angle, so that angle is known as critical angle of incidence. So here what happens, if N1 is refractive index of denser medium, N2 is refractive index of rarer medium. By Snell's law we can write N1 sin theta is equal to N2 sin theta r. So theta is equal to theta c. So therefore angle of refraction for angle of incidence to be critical angle theta c, r should be equal to 90 degree. So therefore sin theta c is equal to n2 by n1 into sin 90. Sin theta c is equal to n2 by n1. So therefore angle of critical angle theta c is equal to sin inverse of n2 by n1. So here acceptance angle means the maximum angle of incidence at the end of optical fiber for which optical light ray can be propagated along critical core and cladding interface is known as maximum acceptance angle. So it is also called acceptance cone half angle. So here what happens, incident ray, the light which is to be communicated through the optical fiber is incident here at point A. After that it gets refracted at angle of theta r. So and it gets incident here that is in between core and cladding interface. So if the angle of incidence here theta is more than critical angle, whatever the ray undergoes totally internal reflection, or the ray reflects back to the denser medium and the ray undergoes totally internal reflection. So continuously zigzag path, and the light ray travels through the core only, and it never escapes from core to cladding. So that is the principle of optical fiber. Here N1 is refractive index of core and N2 is refractive index of cladding. So from that so we know that by Snell's law N0 sin theta I is equal to N1 sin theta r. So theta is angle of incidence. So N0 is refractive index of surrounding medium to the cladding to the optical fiber. N1 is refractive index of core. So theta r is angle of refraction from right angle triangle. From the geometry we have theta r plus theta is equal to 90 degree. So theta r is equal to 90 minus theta. N0 sin theta 1 is equal to N1 sin of 90 minus theta. So sin of 90 minus theta is cos theta. So we can write sin theta I is equal to N1 divided by N0 into cos theta. That is equation number 2. So here what happens when theta is critical angle. So theta becomes equals to theta m, maximum angle theta m. So this sine of theta m becomes equals to n1 divided by n1 n0 cos theta c. So according to law of refraction, so again applying Snell's law, so n1 sin I is equal to n2 sin r, I is equal to theta c, so r is equal to 90 degree. So sin theta c is equal to n by n1 sin 90. So sin theta c is equal to n by n1, or cos theta c is equal to square root of 1 minus sin theta c, square root of 1 minus sin square theta c. That gives the equation that is cos theta c is equal to square root of n1 square minus n2 square divided by n1. That is equation 4. So substitute equation 4 in 3, we get sin theta m is equal to n1 divided by n0 square root of n1 square minus n2 square divided by n1. If the medium surrounding the optical fiber is having n0 is air, then what happens? For air we have n0 is equal to 1. The equation becomes sin theta m is equal to square root of n1 square minus n2 square. So theta m is equal to sin inverse of square root of n1 minus n2 square. So which is the required expression for maximum acceptance in case of optical fibers? So acceptance, what is the acceptance cone here? So acceptance cone means, so rotating the acceptance cone, if you rotate the acceptance cone about the fiber axis, describes the acceptance cone of the fiber. So light launched at the fiber, and within this acceptance cone alone will be accepted, and it is propagated to the other end of the fiber by total internal reflection principle. So the light gathering capacity of an optical fiber, so you can say it as numerical aperture, and it is proportional to acceptance angle. So it is numerically equal to sine of the minimum acceptance angle. So the ratio between difference in RIs of core and cladding to that of RI of core is called as fractional refractive index change. So here we know that numerical aperture is equal to sin theta max. So according to definition, numerical aperture is equal to sine of the angle of acceptance angle, sine of the NA, numerical aperture is denoted by NA is equal to sin theta max. Sin theta max is equal to square root of n1 square minus n0 n2 square divided by n0. n0 is equal to 1. So therefore NA is equal to square root of n1 square minus n2 square. So simplify it, we will arrive expression that is here what happens, let us substitute delta is equal to n1 minus n2 divided by n1. So here n1 is approximately equals to n2. So the equation becomes numerical aperture is equal to square root of n1 square into 2 delta. So numerical aperture is equal to n1 into square root of 2 delta. So this delta is called as fractional change in refractive index in between core and cladding. Next, types of optical fibers. On the basis of variation of refractive index of core, the optical fibers are mainly classified into 2 types: step index fiber, gradient index fiber. So first one, single mode step index fiber. So depending upon the mode, single mode, multi-mode step index fibers are there. So first, refractive, the RI is constant for core in this fiber. As we go radially from center to the core, the RI undergoes step change at core cladding interface. So here the dimensions of core and optical fibers are given. So mainly what happens here, it is reflective fiber, since light is transmitted from one end to the other end by principle of TIR, that is total internal reflection. So this refractive index of profile of single mode step index fiber. So diameter of cladding is 60 to 70 micrometer. Diameter of this core is about 8 to 10 micrometer. So that is a single mode step index fiber. So in single mode step index fiber, so only one light ray passes. If the more than one light ray is called as mode here. So if the if the more than one light rays, more number of light rays are propagated, so or passed, that is called multi-mode step index fiber. Single mode step index fiber, here only one light mode is transmitted. So this is cladding core ray of propagation. So multi-mode step index fiber, the construction of this fiber is similar to step index fiber. So here what happens, so only the change is refractive index. So only the change is whatever the mode of light rays, number of light rays is more than one. So refractive index of profile of multi-mode step index fiber. So here what happens, core and cladding are having step index, so only one step index fiber. So next, gradient index fiber. In this fiber what happens, radially the refractive index of core continuously decreases from center to the surface. At center it is maximum, so as at the core and cladding interface it becomes minimum. The area of maximum of the center of core and minimum at the surface. So the fiber can be single mode or say multi-mode. So the diameters of core and cladding varies from 50 to 200 micrometer and 100 to 250 micrometer respectively. So refractive index of fiber for single mode graded index fiber. It is what happens. So center portion is shown by curved, so indicating that refractive index varies, decreases from axis of core to core and cladding interface. So that is so this one is called a refractive index profile of single mode graded index fiber. So next, refractive index profile of multi-mode graded index fiber. So here also same. So refractive index changes, center portion is shown by curved portion here. So because the refractive index decreases from axis of core to interface in between core and cladding. So means refractive index varies from core, center of core to interface of cladding and core. So as Ri changes continuously from radially in core, the light rays suffers continuous reflection, so within the core from its center of surface. Thus the propagation of light rays are not due to TIR but by refraction. Therefore this is called refractive fiber. So in this fiber the light rays travel at different speeds in different parts. So near the surface refractive index least, so the light rays travel faster compared to the light rays near the axis. Because of this, all the rays almost arrive at the same time at the other end of the fiber. So this is a light propagation in the multi-mode graded index fiber, core and cladding. So this picture depicts the propagation of light ray in multi-mode graded index fiber. Okay. So optical fiber communication system. How the optical communication is done in optical fibers. So it is an efficient. An efficient optical fiber requires high information carrying capacity such as voice signal, video signals over long distances. So with a minimum number of repeaters. So it essentially consists of the following parts: encoder, transmitter, waveguide, receiver and decoder. So these 5 important parts optical fiber communication includes. So let us, what is the encoder? First one, encoder. It converts electrical signal corresponding to analog information such as video, figures, objects, etc. into a binary data. This binary data comes out in the form of stream of electrical pulses. To transmitter, it is mainly consists of drive circuit and a light source. Drive circuit supplies the electrical pulses to the light source from the encoder. Here what happens, LED or diode laser is used as light source. So mainly monochromatic light sources are used, and it converts electrical signals are infected into optical signals. So these optical signals are injected into waveguide. So this is a picture showing how the optical communication takes place. Electrical signal, so it is encoded into light signals. So after that what happens, the optical signals are produced here in transmitter. So these optical signals are transmitted through the optical fiber, or it is also called a waveguide, optical waveguide. So then optical waveguide, optical signals are received here. So photodetector detects the optical signals and it converts the signal, amplifies what happens here by means of electronics circuit. Signals are amplified, then it is sent to decoder. So from the decoder what happens, so decoder, it decodes the information in the amplified optical signals, and that is displayed on the screen. So attenuation or power loss in optical fibers. The power of the light at the output of the end is found to be always less than the power launched at the input end. So because there is variation in loss that is given at the input compared to the output, so considerable loss is observed. So attenuation is found to be a function of fiber material. So wavelength of light and length of the fiber, and it is measured in terms of decibels. Attenuation, there are three main types: scattering losses, absorption losses, bending losses. So these are the fiber optical cables, so that we are using in our daily modern communication systems, in computers, in televisions, so in networking of computers, all that. So communication, advantage of optical fiber communication: the life of fiber is longer than copper wire. Handling and installation cost optical fiber is very nominal. So it is unaffected with electromagnetic interference. Attenuation in optical fiber is lower than the coaxial cable or twisted pair. So there is no necessity of additional equipment for protecting against grounding and voltage problems. So applications of optical fibers. Optical fiber have a wide range of applications in almost all fields. Some of are being specified below. In telecommunication field, in space communication, next in broadband applications, in computer application, industrial application, mining applications, in medical applications, in military applications, etc. So these are the some pictures giving applications of optical fibers in medical, so in the military, in electronics. So in medical, it is mainly used for endoscope. So optical fibers so it is used to take the inner body structure of patients for doctors in medical examination. So there are two types. There are two optical fibers. So one for light to illuminate the inside portion of the patient, and one for camera to send the images back to the doctor. So this is the endoscope instrument, so which is inserted inside the nostrils of the nose, and it goes inside the human body. So here it is provided with two optical fibers. One fiber illuminates the inside part of the body, and another fiber sends that illuminated image back to the doctor, so as to it is helpful to study the internal structure of human body of the patient for the doctors. So conclusion, the this conclusion our study of optical fiber communication. We have looked at how they work and how they are made, properties, fibers, applications. Thank you.